Very few students scored full marks in both parts of this question. Let's make sure it doesn't happen to you this summer. In fact, the mean mark was only 1.6 out of 5. The examiners said in their report after the exam that this question proved more demanding than expected. As a result, there were very few completely correct solutions to both parts of the question. It says, given that p and q are integers, that means whole numbers, such that p times q is even, use algebra to prove, by contradiction, that at least one of p or q is even. So how do we start a proof by contradiction like this? Well, this is where we assume that this is true, that PQ is even, but that this part is false. How would it be that that part is false? What's the opposite of at least one of P or Q being even? If I'm saying that at least one of P or Q is even, then I'm saying that maybe P is even, or maybe just Q is even, or maybe both of them are even. So the opposite of that would be that neither of them are even. In other words, that both P and Q are odd. So to start my proof by contradiction, I say, assume for contradiction that there exist two integers P and Q such that PQ is even, so that the thing in orange there is true, but that both P and Q are odd. In other words, the thing that I highlighted in pink up here is false. That gets us our first mark. So if both P and Q are odd, then we can write them using algebra like this. We can say P is 2m plus 1 and Q is 2n plus 1, where m and n are whole numbers, integers. It's an even number plus 1. That gives us an odd number. Notice that I'm using different letters here, m and n, to make sure that there's the possibility that P and Q might be different numbers. I can't use, say, K for both of these letters, because then I'd be assuming that both P and Q are the same number. So we need to work out a contradiction here that's going to arise from P times Q. So let's work that out. P times Q, that would be this times this. If we expand the brackets in the usual way, then we end up with this expression. That gets us another mark. Where's our contradiction going to be? Well, we want to show that this isn't true. In fact, that PQ isn't even, that PQ is odd. So what does an odd number look like? It looks like 2 times an integer plus 1. So you see what I've done here? I've factored out a 2 from the first 3 terms, and then I've left the plus 1 on the outside. And I'm making the point here that this is odd, which contradicts our assumption that PQ is even. Therefore, we need to restate the question. If PQ is even, then at least one of P or Q is even. You need to write that at the end to score the final mark. Part 2. Given that x and y are integers such that x is negative and that this inequality holds, show that this is true. So we need to show where this comes from. That needs to be our destination, our end point. So I'm going to start with what we've been given here. And I'm going to note that squaring means multiply by yourself. Then I'm going to expand the brackets in the usual way. And we'll end up with x squared, an xy, another xy, so that's 2xy plus y squared. Notice that we've got a y squared on both sides. If we subtract y squared, that would cancel out. Also, I'm noticing that I've got an x squared here and here, so I'm going to subtract x squared to get 8x squared over here. That gets us our first mark if we get that far. Next, we can divide both sides by 2 to get this. And now I'm looking at the goal and I'm thinking, how am I going to get there? What's similar about this? What's different about this? Well, I'm noticing that we've got a y and a 4x kind of hiding here, but what is different is the direction of the inequality sign. What information haven't I used? I haven't used this yet, that x is negative. So I'm going to divide both sides by x, but because x is negative, we must remember whenever we divide or multiply by a negative, we have to flip around the inequality sign. So it's going to flip around the other way, and there we are. We're at the destination for our final mark.